So Akon was building a city in Africa.
This Grammy-nominated singer promised to build a $6 billion futuristic city that was sold like a real-life Wakanda. However,
wow.
5 years later, one single building has been built. And somehow, there's also a bunch of angry investors who lost everything in a failed cryptocurrency project. And this is all revolving this one building.
That's it? Wow. I mean, you gotta admit, that's kind of impressive, guys. Wow.
So today we're going to take a look at what in the tomfoolery happened here, because it's safe to say we have quite the insane story to talk about today. And before we dive into what's wrong, it's worth understanding why people took this project seriously in the first place. You see, Akon isn't just some random celebrity making wild promises while throwing money around for publicity. He has a little bit of a track record for doing projects in Africa, which
and he has done a number of very good things for Africans. It's not like this guy hasn't done anything good ever. But it's a little bit harder to build a whole fucking city. Building Wakanda is harder than, you know, giving people water or something else.
Him get this contract to begin with. To go way back, he was born in Missouri and became a prominent name in the music industry after his single Locked Up gained popularity in 2004. However, although Akon is originally from Missouri, he actually grew up and spent part of his childhood in Senegal until he was 7 years old. So more than a lot of people, he has some firsthand experience of what life is like without basic infrastructure, like most of us honestly kind of take for granted. So because of this,
I don't know how the fuck Africa doesn't still have that shit. It's insane to me that that there are such big areas in Africa that just don't even have basic infrastructure. How does that happen?
Growing up, he experienced what it was like living in complete darkness once the sun went down. No running water, no electricity, and no power grid. With local businesses shutting down at night, families were forced to use candles and kerosene lamps to get everything done, which was not only inconvenient, but dangerous as well. Moving forward, in 2014, after establishing himself in the music industry, Akon launched this project called Akon Lighting Africa, in which he proved that he could deliver significant benefits to these people, not only in the country that he grew up in, but also across the whole continent. And this is where things actually started to get a little bit impressive, because just in the first year, he brought solar energy to 14 different African nations. There were certainly critics who questioned various aspects of the project, especially its involvement with Chinese government-owned construction firms.
Oh, shut the fuck up. Suck my dick. Fuck you. I don't want to hear about that. Oh, but China. You're tweeting "but China" on a phone made in China. Shut up.
Ultimately, it was the communities themselves that benefited the most. You see, solar electricity enabled vendors to operate longer hours, allowed kids to study after dark, and provided solar-powered streetlights, which in turn decreased crime rates due to increased visibility. So, by 2016, Akon Lighting Africa had installed 100,000 solar-powered street lamps.
Universal, massive fucking W. Nobody can take that away from him. That's amazing. W. Akon.
Creating more than 5,500 jobs in the process, and as a result, an estimated of 28.8 million people gain access to electricity due to his efforts.
I remember when this happened. I thought that was
that's
badass.
Not nothing. That's worth giving praise for. And it was this success that gave him the credibility to pitch his next very grand project. So when Akon announced he wanted to build an entire city, people listened. Following the success of the lighting project, Akon went on to this publicity tour in 2020, and during this, he announced this futuristic utopian city called Project Akon.
From what I understand, the president of Senegal gave you 3 square miles of land.
Well, this is the thing. I had to actually buy the land, so it wasn't gifted to me. What the president and the government are doing, they're actually laying the foundation for all the infrastructure, like the basic sewage, electricity, all the things that have to be set forth for me to build a city on top of. And they give me 100% full, support.
So it's going to include roads, a hospital, houses, hotels, a police station, a waste facility, a school, and a solar power plant, of course.
Solar power plants, theme parks.
How's it going?
Theme parks.
What?
Man,
theme
boat
parks?
docks.
And it's called Akon City.
It's the Akon
Theme parks.
That's phase 1, though.
You see, the plan here was to build the city on a 3 square mile plot, approximately 60 miles from Dakar, or Senegal's capital. And even though 3 square miles might not sound huge, that's roughly 6 times the National Mall in Washington, D.C. And this was supposed to be, phase 1 of a multi-phase plan that would eventually expand much further. The renderings honestly kind of look promising. Modern skyscrapers here, futuristic architect, green spaces, honestly everything you would expect from a city that's essentially being brand named it as like Africa's Dubai and the real life version of Wakanda. And the city was designed to have 5 distinct districts.
Oh wow, look at that. What is this? What is this? This is like the beginning of Elysium or something like that. Really? Like, yeah, this is Dubai. Exactly. Yeah, the big difference between Dubai and this is that Dubai, there's like this little thing they call oil, right? And so oil is worth a lot of fucking money. So what ends up happening is that they sell the oil and then they can build Dubai. Now, there's not as many oil. There might be shiny rocks over there. That's great. But there's not enough shiny rocks.
District that would feature modern waterfront homes and a sprawling, all-inclusive resort. Then you would have the entertainment district, which would house a cutting-edge, multi-purpose stadium and a massive casino. Then you have the tech district that was supposed to become like the Silicon Valley of Africa.
In my opinion, I think that they made a huge mistake with these weird avant-garde building designs. Africans don't need some weird building that looks like a dilapidated dick. They need a box that has air conditioning that they can live in. This is, again, like, they don't need style, they need water. They don't need swag, they need food.
Then you would have the health and safety district that would provide essential services like police stations, fire departments, and a general hospital. Then you would have the education district that would offer comprehensive learning opportunities for children and adults. And finally, the Senwood district. That would be filming studios, offices, and residential spaces, all topped off with the Akon Tower.
Akon Tower, bro. I'm gonna be honest. I love Akon, but this sounds like something like, I remember whenever I was 9, I tried to, like, I would, like, you know, imagine, like, what it would be like to build my own city. I mean, come on.
But if that doesn't sound bold enough, there were some red flags that started waving on the horizon, because shortly after the announcement of this new project, Akon also revealed that this city, it would operate with its own currency. Or even better, it would operate...
No, don't say it.
...with its own cryptocurrency.
Oh, I knew it. Oh, God. Why do you do this to yourself? Nobody wants this.
Called A-Coin.
Oh, my fucking God. A-Coin? Oh, my... This is... What? This was the year 2020, where everybody thought cryptocurrency was the new thing. I can understand. No, actually, this is so dumb. This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. This is so stupid.
A-Coin was intended to be a stellar-based cryptocurrency specifically designed for African entrepreneurs. And as soon as you attach identity to money, you pretty much know it's a scam.
As soon as you create a cryptocurrency, you pretty much know it's a scam. Here, I just want to fix that for you guys.
Serve as like a more stable common medium of exchange between Africa's 54 countries, many of which struggle with high volatile local currencies. And while that may be true, there's nothing like trying to combat volatile local currencies with a speculative low-cap crypto coin. Come on! This has scam written all over it. That's just my opinion, though. And now, to be fair, Africa has a massive problem with banking. So using digital currencies and apps makes sense rather than traditional banking.
Why didn't they just use something like Bitcoin then? Like El Salvador has huge amounts of Bitcoin. Why do you need to make your own new currency if there's already existing cryptocurrencies that have markets that are not extremely volatile? They're like big 3 or 4. You've got Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then Monero and Solana. And that's because they have different functions, right? Especially for buying and selling things that you're not supposed to. Why do you need 500 other ones?
Launch some low-cap coin,
not Doge,
and saying that it's going to be the currency of the city that hasn't even been built yet. That just comes across as a massive cash grab and scam. But just like basically everything else I covered here on this channel, it gets worse. Because before launching A-Coin on a major cryptocurrency exchange, Akon's team announced a campaign called Token of Appreciation.
Oh, fuck. Oh, shit.
was treated like a donation drive where people could, I guess, get early ACoin.
Why is it that every single time that an influencer makes a cryptocurrency coin, it sounds like a scam? Isn't that really weird? That every time a content creator makes or influencer or celebrity or anyone, that they make a crypto coin, it always is bad. Can we think of one example where it wasn't bad? Do we have a single example of it not being bad? No. Okay. Yeah, I didn't think so. All right. The success rate is 0%.
So donors here, they were promised 4 ACoins for every dollar they spent. So when ACoin finally launched on major crypto
what do you guys think is worth more right now? Acorns or ACoins?
Exchanges in early 2021, it peaked at about 58 cents per coin. And for the token of appreciation holders who bought it early, they made about 130% gain until, you know, the thing that always happens with these coins when it inevitably dumps. Yeah, it didn't take long. The price began spiraling down roughly to 10 cents per coin, and then the TOA holders went from like 132% gain to a 60% loss practically overnight. People were understandably very upset about this, but no fear, because ACoin admins, they offered refunds to the initial donors. And when Akon was directly asked about these refund issues, this was his response.
Were you aware of that?
No, that I wasn't aware. I knew that was on record. We definitely met with everybody, and this was the agreement that was actually agreed on. So if there was anyone outside of that, I definitely wasn't aware.
And those people who asked for their money back and were expecting it a year ago, when will they receive their money?
Well, that I'm just literally on everything finding out. So I'm gonna definitely get more involved and figure out what that's about. But we do have instruments in place to make sure those people are happy, even if I got to go in my own pocket. I'm dead serious.
You'll pay out of your own pocket?
Hell yeah, I would, because they believed in me. Why wouldn't I?
Okay.
Because you don't know a fucking thing about this shit. You don't have any business advertising it, making it, promoting it, or having anything to do with it. You're a singer. You did a great thing for Africa, and you were able to do that, but making a entire digital currency is a little bit more fucking complicated. Like, you should have never done this. Like, yeah, I mean, they're using his name. Yeah, exactly. That's the problem, right? He's a con artist, nothing more? No. You need to understand that a lot of people, and this is especially true during 2020 and 2021, 2022 to a lesser extent, a lot of people really thought this is the way things were going. And a lot of mainstream celebrities were pushing this. This was extremely common. He's Akon art. Wait, what do you mean by that? Akon artist.
That was kind of an evil laugh. And I couldn't find any proof of him paying anyone back. So
I would have never guessed.
Take that how you want, but he's claiming he had no idea there was problems with the refunds, which, I mean, you know, if you're running some cryptocurrency project, it seems like, number one, that's something that shouldn't really happen, but if it is happening, you should probably be aware of that. Yeah. Obviously, it just gets worse because the coin eventually crashed to fractions of a cent, representing a...
Oh, God. Oh, no.
Essentially like a complete loss for all the investors.
So it's 1/3 of a penny? Less than 1/3 of a penny.
And currently, ACoin isn't even listed on any cryptocurrency exchange. You can't buy, sell, or use it anywhere. It's completely worthless. While that was going on over here...
Well, that doesn't really matter, though, right? How's the city doing?
What was happening with the actual construction of the city? Well, if you want the short answer...
nothing, right?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Look at this. This is an embarrassment. It almost seems like the entire Akon City project was announced and promoted so they could pump and dump a crypto coin. Keyword, seems like. Don't sue me. I don't know. I'm just calling a spade.
I don't even think that's it. I honestly think that this is what I think happened. I think Akon had massive success in music. He had massive success in smaller initiatives helping Africans. He did a larger initiative helping Africans. He also had massive success in that. And he decided to bite off more than he could chew. And he listened to the advice of people that misled him with cryptocurrency because he didn't understand it. And he did something that he didn't understand, and he fucked up. That's basically what I think happened.
But obviously, remember those futuristic renderings and promises of a completed phase 1 by 2024? Yeah, there's a picture that recently went viral showing the current state of Akon City, and it's depressing, and that's putting it light.
Oh, that's nice. They've got some, what are those, like cows or some shit? Yeah, look at that. So that's the entire city. Well, that's what you can build with cryptocurrency, I guess.
And apparently this building is a recreational center. An unfinished recreational center. Nice. $6 billion. And this is all they got. I've seen...
Whoa. Where did this $6 billion come from?
Amish people put up a house in like 48 hours.
I don't know why they can't get their shit together over there. This is a joke. I mean, you want to say it's corruption? Get the fuck out of here. Everybody's corrupt everywhere. Jesus, you got to get your shit together over there. It's fucking embarrassing.
Meanwhile, what we got for $6 billion. But I mean, hey, at least construction has begun. The first phase was supposed to be built on 55 hectares of land, eventually expanding to 500 hectares by the end of the decade.
That's a lot.
Instead, we got one building and a bunch of empty fields.
Wow.
So Senegal's tourism board, SAPCO, was actually backing the project, and they were initially all in on supporting Akon. However, by 2024, SAPCO allegedly began to lose patience with the lack of progress. They reportedly sent Akon a formal notice that if the project hasn't advanced by the end of the year, his contract would be terminated. And looking at this...
Good. That's smart. And I guarantee you that's probably not even true. If they had just made more buildings, they would have been like, oh, okay, all right, things are moving. Cool, great. All right, let's see how things go.
Of land, it looks like that's exactly what happened. Because according to blackenterprise.com in August of 2024, Akon was warned that missing deadlines and payment schedules to SAPCO could result in forfeiture of the property. And since Akon missed those payments, most of the land was reclaimed by the government. Okay, so we have this guy whose name I'm not even going to try to pronounce because I don't want to offend him. But he's the head of SAPCO, and he made it official. I guess instead of this like new futuristic mega city, SAPCO is now planning to spend about $1.2 billion transforming this area into a more traditional tourism hub, featuring hotels, apartments, a marina, and a promenade connecting a nearby lagoon. So the government expects a new plan to create approximately 15,000 jobs in the first phase, a figure that may actually materialize, unlike, you know, the Akon City promise. So Mayor Alpha Sam seemed pretty relieved about this new direction, saying, and quote, "May this resort serve as a model for success in Senegal, a hub of tourism and a source of economic opportunity." And Jean Wally Seen, a local school teacher and resident, probably summed up how everyone was feeling. For a very long time, people, including Akon, have been coming and trying to sell us dreams and illusions. Finally, there's a dream for Mubadeen that we dare to believe in. But
this time for sure.
Ultimately, in a surprising turn of events, during a recent interview on Mina's House podcast, Akon claims the reports about the city construction being canceled are simply media misinformation, and that despite any article, the project is still ongoing.
Where's it going, though? Like, it's ongoing, but like, where is it going? Like, you need to explain that.
I got teams on it trying to combat all the negative, false information that these people are putting out. And
one good way to combat the false information would be to post a photo of some of the buildings that you've created and to show people progress of how it's been made. I know it sounds crazy, but if you want people to have faith in you, just show people that the money's being used in a way that they think the money's supposed to be being used in. I mean, it's pretty simple. Just post a photo of people working on it.
Just last week, we had over 23 million false ads on Akon City, just negative.
Where is that coming from?
It's the agendas, the powers that be.
Ah.
That's how it works.
Who? I don't know.
Okay.
You know, when they want to destroy something that can change the minds or the mindset of people, that's how they do it, through the media.
So according to Akon, all of the reporting from BBC News and all the other outlets about the project being canceled is merely propaganda intended to discredit the project and discredit Africa as a whole. Okay. He's not providing specific details about the construction progress, timelines, or address the fact that SAPCO has officially stated that the project no longer exists. Instead, he's talking about dreams becoming reality and saying there's some sort of coordinated misinformation.
Yeah, we're talking about dreams and conspiracy theories in the media. And it's like, well, do you have like a photo of the buildings? No. Do you have like plans for the buildings? No. Do you have like photos of people making the buildings? No. Do you have like any sort of like statements or updates on when the buildings are going to be made? No. But it's all a conspiracy to make you look bad. Yeah, for sure.
Akon at this point is just kind of coming across as the embodiment of this meme.
corruption is not bad. Corruption is only bad if I'm not involved.
Yes.
But if I'm part of that corruption, I'll defend it.
Which at this point is kind
You gotta respect, bro. Like, he just says it.
of depressing, because you can just add him to the list as another person who's taken advantage of Africa as a continent, because overall as a continent, it's just sadly so disgustingly plagued by corruption and scammery.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think that Akon scammed them on purpose. I think that it's just really hard to build a city. He's totally not equipped to doing it. He doesn't know how to choose a team very well. And he failed, but it wasn't out of malice. It was out of incompetence and ignorance. And I think that 99% of other people would have failed in that situation as well. That's the reason, right? He's overwhelmed. Yeah, it's hard to do. Like, I don't think I could build a city, right? That would be hard.
Recognizing all the initiatives that Akon has undertaken on the continent over the last few years, especially with his Lighting Africa project. That was not only successful, it actually helped.
Exactly, right? And so, like, it's sad to see this happen, to make this guy look like a jackass, because he did do positive things.
But either way, it is just undeniable on how hard Akon fumbled Akon City. He fumbled it so hard that it just does not look good at all. Because at the end of the day, Akon City feels like a classic case of someone getting carried away with their past success and biting off way more than what they could chew. And that is honestly the best case scenario. The worst case scenario would be, you know, a full-on scam. But who knows? I don't have enough information to make a full judgment here, but it doesn't look good. And unfortunately, I guess dreams can also sometimes just be dreams, and turning them into reality requires more than just some good intentions and celebrity status.
And this is advice I have to, like, any content creator. It's hard to do things. That's the advice. It is. It's hard to do things. And we've been, like, very, very, very lucky. Like, for example, like with Mythic and Starforge starting those companies, and Mad Mushroom too, that we were lucky enough to find leadership that we did. Because if it was up to us running everything, I don't think we could have done it. The ability for a leader to find people to execute their vision is equivalent to a leader's capacity to lead. Nobody is a one-man army. If you can't find good generals, lieutenants, captains, sergeants, and, you know, fucking everything all the way down, corporals, you're not going to have a good time. You need to do that. And yeah, and you're a great leader. Well, I'm okay, right? I don't think I'm a great leader. I think I'm okay. I do my best, right? I try to do my best in every case. But the truth is that we got really lucky in doing this. I think potentially Akon got really lucky with the lighting thing. He probably did, because it's, again, like you're comparing a mountain to a molehill. Think about how easy it is to get solar panels set up, and think about how hard it is to build an entire fucking city. Like, really, it's like the difference between drawing a picture of a house and building a house.
Hoping this project was going to bring jobs and economic development to the region, well, at least the new government's plan seems more realistic and might actually happen. Or maybe it might just be another rinse and repeat. Who knows? Maybe we'll check back in with a new video 5 years from now. But either way, that's how Akon's $6 billion future city became a single building in an empty field.
That's embarrassing.
And how he joined the long list of celebrities to drop a completely worthless cryptocurrency. But other than that, hey, feel free to subscribe if you're new here. Drop a like on this video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
I mean, growing up, and even now, right? I love Akon. I think Akon's music is amazing. Any guy that grew up in the 2000s was listening to Akon on the radio in high school, middle school, college. Like, and so it's really sad for me to see this shit happen, right? It is, because I love Akon. He sucks? I don't think he sucks. I think Akon's great. But anyway, Akon just didn't know his limits on this one. Yeah, he didn't know his limits. And I have made decisions, and I have kind of bitten off more than I can chew in the past. And I think, honestly, a lot of people have done that. Like, even people that are, like, insanely competent, really smart people. Like, Elon Musk got involved in the government. This is the richest guy in the world. Did he make as big of a change in Doge that you would have hoped that he could have? No, probably not. The answer to that, for most people, probably fucking not. And that doesn't mean, and I'm sure that in a lot of cases he went into it with good intentions. Maybe not every time. I know people don't like Elon, so you don't want to agree with me on this case. I think that there are many cases where content creators, influencers, celebrities, people that are really good at one business go into a business with good intentions. But just because you have good intentions doesn't mean that you will have good outcomes. And I think this is the one thing that a lot of people like this don't really seem to understand. It is really, really hard to do things like this at scale.